Hey, you are watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. Oh my gosh, I just did the split. I've been getting this Four of Wands in the split a lot lately, but it's like, it's like this marriage, family stability, and it's like this person who's gone on this spiritual quest is walking right towards this. So again, it's hearkening back to this message of the whole Justice for the Truth tribe, the folks that have kind of done the inner work and have come into alignment with the way things are moving forward. It's like are moving into a new stability, whereas like the folks that are really kind of like hanging on to the stability of the past and how things have been in the past, it's just like are waking up to the reality that things have sort of changed, whether they were paying attention or not. Yeah, like right when I said that, this came out. So it's just sort of like, oh my gosh, there's a super huge shift. And OMG. Okay, so at the bottom we have the moon. So something hidden is coming to light. And some, you know, this is a card of lack, of like not having enough and sort of being like abandoned, left out in the cold. But whatever the situation is, it's coming to justice. So, and I think whatever is hidden that's coming to light is, oh, this super toxic situation is gonna change, and that's gonna lend itself to this situation of justice being served. So that's really interesting, because all of this really speaks to that story that I was telling. But there have been a lot of readings about justice coming out leading up to this, so it's really, really, really interesting. But some toxic situation is coming to light, and it's really kind of turning the tables. And this is a story that's kind of been, oh my gosh, we got thunder. So this is just like a sudden, maybe an announcement or something sudden is going to trigger this shift, or someone is going to come into they're being led to capture sort of their, in this card it's prey, but I don't really like that analogy because I'm vegan, so it's like their destiny, you know, they're coming into alignment. There is guidance from the higher realms that's perhaps orchestrating whatever this triggering event is, that's causing all of this stuff to come to the surface. So this is really interesting because, you know, like in this whole, because I've been kind of relating the energy to like current events, and like Ukraine, I think, represents this experience, but this experience is coming to justice, and some toxic situation is being brought to light and changing. So that's really interesting too, because the whole drumbeat about war crimes and genocide is starting to get really loud, and it's just sort of like, we're not gonna, you know, turn and look the other way this time, because I think, you know, Vladimir Putin has gotten away with these antics for a long time, and a lot of people have been getting killed and disappearing and getting poisoned, and he's just like always gotten away with it because nobody's really ever held him accountable, you know. But this kind of, it's just sort of like the message is getting louder that this time he is going to be held accountable. And it might not happen overnight, because it sounds like it's a thing that could take a while for it to happen, but it is going to happen. Like, this is being manifested. It's on the horizon. So what is on the horizon is We have the Chariot. This is freedom. There's a whole thread about freedom, like the George Michael song. You got to give for what you take. Like, this person is seizing the reins, because maybe they're seizing the reins of this situation where they've been being exploited, you know, and something is shifting. There's a message coming in. This is good news, the Nymph of Wands. However, there's going to be like some spilled milk over whatever the situation is. So, you know, perhaps for whoever's embodying this toxic energy, you know, but the advice is to not focus on what's being lost, but to focus on the 2 cups that remain and build on that foundation. However, it definitely looks like there's a change happening. It might be happening in slow motion. There's like a reading about that too. It's happening in slow motion. But it is happening. So I'm pulling, oh my gosh. Wow. All right, I'm pulling from the Everyday Tarot. Okay. So at the bottom, we got the 6 of Swords. So moving on from a bad situation to a better situation. We got the Page of Wands again. So this is good news, you know, and this, the Page of Wands is like next to and on top of this shift, this liberation, this freedom, and like things changing and messages coming in. So for sure there's some message, like some news that's gonna happen, it looks like. This is sort of like, I love this, it's like a gardener, you know, like they've sort of planted seeds. So this, like, I feel like it's like the Truth Tribe who've like done the work, they've planted the seeds, they've come into alignment with the way things actually are, and and like now it's like things are evolving around, but like those folks are kind of operating from like a heart-centered, balanced place. And, you know, it's like there might be like chaos happening all around, but it's kind of like you're gonna know who those folks are, because they're kind of like holding the cup, operating from the heart and in alignment with the way things are, you know. And so it's just sort of like, it's almost like there's all this chaos and dust and debris, you know, but those folks are just kind of like calm in the center of it and just like good. They're all good, you know. Okay, I'm going to the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and I'm going to pick a couple final cards for the reading. But yeah, it's funny because there was like, it's like there's these like phases where it's like shift, and then there's like sort of a plateau, and then shift, you know. And like I feel like we're kind of like plateauing at this sort of right now. The story is about justice being served, you know. This came out yesterday too. Peace at the bottom. So, you know, it's like focus on your own peace as we walk through this moment. Focus on healing yourself, focus on self-love. Like that's the best investment of your energy, because this new beginning is coming and we're about to walk through this doorway, a portal to a new way of being. So it's looking good. It's happening. Check in soon.